is on representing persons accused of crimes, immigrants, victims of discrimination, and persons seeking civil justice. Find out how to listen to Justice Watch with attorney Zulu Ali at justicewatchradio.com.
106.5 FM and now 102.3 FM. A Loma Linda, 1050 AM, 106.5 FM and now 102.3 FM.
Do you have a debt problem? Are you being sued for an unpaid debt? Is your paycheck being garnished or your bank account emptied out? Do you feel like you're running out of options? The Fullman Firm is your friendly local law firm next door and has helped thousands of people just like you. Give us a call at 833-FULLMAN and see if we can help you too. It's a free confidential consultation. You have nothing to lose. For debts above $7,000, give us a call at 833-FULLMAN or check out FullmanFirm.com. That's 833-FULLMAN. The Fullman Firm. Let our lawyers get you on the path to financial freedom. The proceeding is not intended as a guarantee or estimate of the outcome of your case. Every case is unique and past results are not indicators of the success of your case.
KCAA.
Welcome to the Sports Circus. I'm your ringmaster Sal, live from our AMP.TV mobile studios here in downtown San Diego, right in front of Seaport Village. That's AAMP.TV. Today's show is brought to you in part by Legal Shield, providing legal protection and peace of mind. Legal Shield can help with traffic tickets, texting and driving, DUIs, court appearances, estate planning, even when certain guests show up and other guests don't show up and you really want to call somebody, call Legal Shield. Who knows? Maybe they can help you out. I have no idea. Give them a call right now at 213-245-1305. That's 213-245-1305. Or visit them online at nocourt.us. That's nocourt.us. And a big welcome to everybody listening in on iHeartRadio, Spotify, and our CBS, NBC, and Fox Sports affiliates from coast to coast. Magic 97.9 FM in fabulous Las Vegas, WDJY in the greater Atlanta market, WIRB in southern Alabama, the Florida Panhandle, and a big welcome to everybody listening in and watching us on hotel television in 650,000 rooms from coast to coast, as well as those streaming at thesportscircus.com, Facebook, and everywhere else. Guess what? We're everywhere, and we even have one of our special guests today already with us, and we'll let him introduce himself.
Hey, everyone. It's Gus Farad here, 15-year NFL quarterback. I'm the host of my own podcast, Huddle Up with Gus, and a friend of Sal's, and I'm really excited to join the Sports Circus today and share some of my stories. I was looking forward to kind of meeting Sal's guest, but maybe I'll get to meet him another day, Sal.
Hey, listen, you never know. Sometimes they show up, sometimes they don't. And really, this is what we do. And see, folks, what we don't do is we don't fix it in the mix. We let it play live. You know why? Because a lot of fun stuff happens when it's live. So guess what? When people show up, it's cool. And if not, it's kind of like, Gus, you're in the huddle. Guess what? All right, fine. We're going to call this play X, whatever. Now we see the defense looks another way. So we're calling an audible. Right? That's exactly what we've done right here.
Right. No, that's right. You've got to call an audible sometimes, or else, you're going to get sacked.
That's right. Well, instead of us being sacked, what are we doing, man? We are still playing, and the best part about it is when we play, we have a chance to win, don't we?
What was that Peyton Manning always called, that little term he used every time he's changing a play at the line of scrimmage? Omaha. That's what we're doing right now, baby.
Was that his audible call?
No, I think Omaha, what it really meant was that was a snap count. right? That every game that changed for the linemen and everybody. So when he said Omaha, that was to tell everybody what the count was on, and they would change it all the time. So the play was changed, and he'd say Omaha, Omaha, and that would kind of sometimes Omaha was, hey, we're going to fake it. We're going to fake the snap count, and I'm going to clap my hands like we're snapping it. Or sometimes you're going to snap it right away, And so a lot of that language that is used and you hear out there, everybody has a different style, but it usually means the same thing.
Well, see, I thought it was like that he likes Omaha steaks.
He might.
He's like, hey, where's my Omaha steak order? And hey, you guys don't owe us any money. We like them too.
I think it was the lineman saying we want Omaha steaks, not so much Peyton. So that's why.
One of those gargantuan linemen. I know that Aaron Rodgers, you always hear him. He's like, everything is 319. His number is 319, 319 hot, whatever. What does that mean to people?
Well, sometimes you use a color, sometimes you use a number. It's just kind of how you get people to understand your rhythm of the snap count. So sometimes it's blue 19 hut. Sometimes you can use 319. So it's just putting the syllables together so that everybody can hear and get a rhythm of your snap count.
Okay. All right. Because there's a lot of people wondering, it's like, why does he keep calling the same damn play over and over? What's this 319 thing?
Well, most times plays are called in a huddle, and that's just the snap count, right? The only time you would, sometimes there's different terms for when you want to change a play. You say easy, you hear him say easy. So that plays off, we're going to the next play. There's things like that. Sometimes there's 2 or 3 plays called in a huddle. If it's a certain coverage or if it's a certain front, hey, we're going to go to this other play. And most people kind of know it, but it's just the quarterback's job to verbalize it and let everybody know what's going on.
Okay. Yeah, because most people, they just watch it. I mean, either A, they're sitting at home, they're yelling at their televisions. I mean, you probably do a little bit of that yourself at some point too, right? No, you're not supposed to go there. No. Maybe you want to, just kind of cold cock. So it's like, no, you ran the wrong route, and guess what? It went scoop and score the other way or something. Somebody coughed the ball up. Yeah,
some of my least favorite ones of all time turnovers are when you throw the perfect pass, but it goes off their hands or it hits them like in the back shoulder and it pops up and a defender picks it off. And that always goes on the quarterback stats. And I said, one thing that should happen, it should be like, it should go half and half, right? It should be like, okay, hey, this guy didn't catch the ball. It hit him perfectly in the right spot. And then all of a sudden the quarterback's targeted for his stats because he threw an interception.
Yeah, especially when your payroll is tied to it, maybe incentive pay, lesser amount of interceptions or whatever, turnovers.
Well, I mean, it goes off your QB differential, everything that's out there now, all driven by stats currently. So imagine now if you threw 4 interceptions in game, which I have done before, 2 of them were off the receiver's hands, and they took that off your books and put it on his. That would be a big difference.
Okay, so let's talk about that for a second, because I think if it hits the receiver's hands, it should not count as an interception. What do you think about that?
No, I would love that because, there's a lot of times. If you watch every game on a weekend, you're going to see that 4 or 5 times at least where a quarterback is throwing a ball, the guy goes to catch it, and it pops up over the middle. Now, there are times when you're training, and the tight end's coming across the middle, the coach is saying, look, don't put it up at his face, right? Put it in his chest. So if he drops it, it's going to go down to the ground. Whereas if you throw it higher, it has a chance to pop up off his hands and the safety's going to catch it. And those things you can train for, but there's sometimes when you're under duress, you're making a throw and the guy's got to make the catch for you. At least knock it down. Don't let it get intercepted.
Okay, so if that's the case, then what about the idea of having the ball must hit both of the receiver's hands? If the receiver's hands, both of them touch the ball, then the interception does not count against you.
Oh, no, that would be great. Just think about all the stats that would change over all the years of quarterback play, and the problems that guys have had. Because sometimes you're just having a bad game, and then all of a sudden it's worse because there's a guy out there who's dropped a couple of yours, So imagine that. Now an incompletion doesn't count as incompletion. It counts as a drop. Why is that stat? Can you add that stat on to what a quarterback has to go through? I'm just looking at it from a biased standpoint because I did it for 15 years, and I watched a lot of my friends go through it all as well. So now if you just have completions, incompletions, and then there's drops, how does that change? That puts a whole new stat line into what all these statisticians and people want to look at for quarterbacks.
Right. And see, in baseball, what we have as a pitcher, that's what I used to do in my former life. We have wild pitches, which a wild pitch is a wild pitch, but we have a pass ball too. So when it gets by the catcher, hey, look, that doesn't go against me. It doesn't go on my stats. The pass ball goes against the catcher. So in the same light, that two-handed receiver touching the ball would basically be that version of a pass ball.
Right. Now you add that drop status to not only the quarterback stats, but the receiver stats. Not that I want the receiver stats to be worse, but it's like, okay, there's two people in this mix. They always tell us, well, you can't throw it and catch it. Yeah, but I take the blame for all of it. So why is that? Why can't that be added to the stats?
I think that it's a bunch of nonsense. And look, I'm one for fairness. All I want to see is the fact that, look, if I made a mistake, fine, hit my stats for it, whatever. I'll own it. But don't be letting the ball get by you and then tagging me on that. Hell no, because all I did was my job. Your guy, that catcher, whatever, was the one that dropped the ball. Your receiver, in your case, had both hands touch the ball. If both hands can touch the ball, you should not be accounted for on an interception. How do you feel about that one?
Baseball standpoint. Yeah, if a pitcher gives up the guy hits it to the shortstop muffs it or throws it away, throws a bad throw to first base, the guy scores. They don't have that in the stats. You're not looking back at games from last year. You're just seeing that pitcher gave up 3 runs that inning.
Right. Well, the thing is, the good news is in baseball, that's E6 on the shortstop, but also it is an unearned run, so it doesn't go against the earned run average. Right,
which is good. Now, how do you translate that into quarterback play, right? And that's the thing is there's so many things that happen in a game. We see, for instance, if a left tackle gets beat and you fumble the ball because you got hit in the back and you didn't see him, it's a fumble on the quarterback.
Yeah, and there are things that happen on the field that certainly you get tagged as the quarterback because you touch the ball every time. Essentially, right?
Right.
Except when the team's punting, unless you're also the punter, right? Or the long snapper or whatever. But point is, why should you be tagged? And I think some of these quarterback contracts, look, the numbers are astronomical. And I'd say, okay, fine. Let's go ahead and let's do certain things to give more accurate depictions of these quarterbacks.
Yeah, this QB rating that somebody came up with, I don't think it's better, but it's not at all accurate. I think it could be better. I think it could take into account drops and fumbles that aren't your fault. Like, how do you take into account when it's not your fault? And obviously there's times that it is your fault, but how do you take that into account? Because it all goes towards your contract and what the coaches are looking at next year.
That's for sure. And now the next segment, we're going to go on a break here in just a minute. In the next segment, I want to ask you a little bit on the flip side of that, because I've got a couple questions that very interested to find out what you have to say. Folks, don't go anywhere. We're back here with Gus Frerotte, 15-year quarterback, all-pro, he's a Pro Bowler. That's the guy. Look at him. He's got his purple on, got his Vikings hat on today for a special reason, and maybe we'll get to that in just a minute. Don't go anywhere. Lots more to come here on The Circus.
Do you have any questions about legal issues? Have you ever been stopped by a police officer and issued a ticket that you're scared to deal with? Have you ever been in trouble with the law and don't know what to do? Do you have a will or power of attorney question? Is your home being foreclosed upon and you don't know where to turn? Maybe you were given a contract that you don't understand. For freedom and a worry-free solution, call for Legal Shield today at 213-245-1305. It's that simple. You will have access to high-quality law firms that will fight for you for less than $1 a day. Peace of mind is just a call away. That's for Legal Shield. Call 213-245-1305 or visit us at nocourt.us. It's justice for all and not justice for some. Are you a small business owner or pursuing the dream of starting your own company? Do you know where to start or how to grow that existing business? The American Business Trust Company has the answers you need. The American Business Trust Company can help you with startup capital, business strategy, sales and marketing, and establishing your company with a physical location or on the internet. You decide. You bring the idea, the American Business Trust Company can help with the rest. For a free evaluation, you may visit them online at abtrustco.com. That's abtrustco.com or call them at 657-600-1876. That's the American Business Trust Company, 657-600-1876. Call them today. They can help your business right away. This is Sal Tuzolino, host and remaster of The Sports Circus. Why listen to the same old dog and pony show that you've heard all day long? The Sports Circus covers everything that other shows don't or are too scared to cover. There's no primetime show like it out here that'll punch you in the mouth and you'll beg for more. You can call in and participate with our chaos if you dare. Join me and celebrity guests for Havoc and Mayhem weekdays at 5 p.m. Pacific here on AMP TV or stream the show live at thesportscircus.com. Remember, folks, it's a circus and we prove it every day.
In times of economic uncertainty and chaos, your money means nothing. You may not even be able to get it from your bank or ATM. And the money you do have in the stock market will go down and down. What you can bank on is gold and silver. Gold and silver have been a reliable and trusted form of currency for thousands of years. Gold and silver have never been worth zero, and typically gold holds its value during economic turmoil. Call the Gold Hotline now and learn how to protect your money and your assets with gold and silver. And learn how to set up a new IRA or roll over your current one into a gold-backed IRA. Protect your money from the next market crash with gold and silver. Call now for your free gold guide.
800-755-4281. 800-755-4281. 800-755-4281. That's 800-755-4281.
Welcome back to the Sports Circus. I'm your ringmaster, Sal, live from the AMP.TV mobile studios here in downtown San Diego at Seaport Village. This segment brought to you in part by Cali Vegas, helping people create and host their very own radio, TV, or multimedia talk shows. Cali Vegas can help them from getting out of hours of traffic every day or sitting at home trying to figure out what their next move is and host their very own talk show in their very own studio. For more information, contact Cali Vegas at 949-445-1119. That's 949-445-1119. Again, 949-445-1119. Or visit them online at calivegas.com. That's CALI Vegas.com. And a big welcome back to everybody listening in on Magic 97.9 FM up in Las Vegas and our CBS, NBC, and Fox Sports affiliates from coast to coast. Those watching on hotel television. Back here with Gus Ferratz. There he is. Look at Gus. Gus looking all sharp, and Debbie's looking like he's ready for a round of golf. And look at all that hair. I haven't grown that much hair in my life.
I even just got it cut. You should have seen it before this.
I can't imagine. I mean, seriously, it's a lifetime worth of hair as far as I see it.
It is. I don't think that I have what a lot of guys have is I'm not going to have to worry about going bald anytime soon. It is very gray, but I'm not going to be going bald.
Listen, even if it's gray, the fact is you got it. You can color it if you really had to. You know what I mean? Somebody said that to me. I'm like, who wants to put that much work into their hair every day, all the time? I'm like, just let it go. See, I can't shave my head because I have this gigantic cranium. It looks like a big wrecking ball. It just wouldn't be right if I shaved my head.
No, I think it would look good. You got like a little Tally Savalas going on there. You just need a little lollipop, you'd be all set.
Dude, nothing little about this cranium. It's huge.
Hey, at least, my friend, Ryan Fitzpatrick, who plays for the Dolphins now, he can't even wear his hat. His cranium's so big. Like, they never have any to fit him.
Well, do they have a special helmet for guys that have big coconuts?
They do come in XX, yes. They
really?
Have bigger helmets, yes.
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, who's ever asked that one?
Well, there's a joke that, I don't know if you know Terry Crews, who is pretty famous, played for the Redskins, played with him in the locker room, and he came up with this joke one day in the locker room. He said, would you rather have $1 million or Brian Mitchell's helmet full of nickels? Yeah, because Brian Mitchell always had a really big head. So, he just broke that out one day. It was pretty funny. So, I think everybody picked Brian Mitchell's helmet.
Yeah, you know what? Brian came into my studio about a year and a half ago, and he did have a big head on his shoulders. That's for sure.
Yeah, and he used it. He was an incredible player. I mean, just
phenomenal player.
Mitch play. I mean, the guy who played quarterback in college, he could do everything: return punts, return kicks, just all purpose. He's another guy that I feel like could be right on the cusp of being in the Hall of Fame.
Well, for sure. I mean, look, the only person that outgained him was Jerry Rice.
Right. Yeah, that's pretty amazing.
That's some pretty good company. And you know what? His son Will, he's got this incredible grip. And so when I met him, I was like, damn, you're a big boy. You playing football? He goes, no, I'm doing business stuff, computer stuff. I'm like, yo, with that hand, with that grip, I mean, you should be doing something athletically that you can crush people with that hand. So I just call him Will Grip. So whenever I send Brian a message or talk to him, I'm like, hey, man, how's Will Grip?
Yeah, that's
just got that grip of death. It's unbelievable.
Well, speaking of those Vikings hat, the person I've ever seen with the worst grip was Adrian Peterson. The first time I met him in the hallway at the old Vikings at the park there, he came up to me, shook his hand, and I went down on one knee. I'm like, dude, we just met. Like, you don't have to hurt me. And his grip is unbelievable. He goes, no, my dad said I always had to have a firm grip. And when you meet somebody, look them in the eye and shake their hand. I'm like, okay, you shook my hand. You almost broke it. Next time I know I'm going to shake my left hand with you, not my right.
Right. Well, there's a guy that does our boxing work here. It's Bronco Billy Wright. He's a 4-time WBC boxing champion, and his hands are like double the size of mine. I mean, they're really ridiculous. And so he's got this big eclipse of a grip. And, the guy's like 350, 6
right.
He's your size, and he's like 350. So it's like shaking the hand of a lineman with a double mitt, right? And his head is a double pumpkin. Now, you know him. You had him on your show. Billy.
We interviewed Mark Schulman, and I interviewed him on Huddle Up with Gus. He was a great guest. And you know what? My favorite question that I asked him was, and I had to ask him, I said, look, you've been boxing for 30 years. You've fought a lot of people. Who hit you the hardest? And without a doubt, right away, he said George Foreman. He said it was like a 2x4 coming right at my forehead.
Yeah, but at the same time, when you talk about Adrian Peterson's handshake, and you've got Billy's hands, his fists are like this. They're a double fist. And it's like the 2x4 hitting you.
Right, and he's athletic. To hear his story about how he could have went and played football at Texas A&M, was injured in an accident, didn't go to play football, started training in boxing, knocked somebody out, said, hey, you should try boxing, and that led to his career. And that's what Huddle Up with Gus is all about: is hearing people's stories and why they fell in love with sports and how it transitioned and changed their life.
Where can people find Huddle Up with Gus?
Well, they can go to our website, huddleupwithgus.com, or you can find us wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts, on radio.com. We're one of their original podcasts, but anywhere you listen to your favorite podcast, you can find Huddle Up with Gus. And we've interviewed over, almost 70 people now, and had some great ones, from Rocky Bleier, Roberto Clemente Jr., Mike Ditka was one of the best we've ever had on, Joe Theismann, you name it, we've had them on. We've had doctors and lawyers, so it's been a lot of fun.
Right. And I know we both have a couple of people in common that are coming up. We don't want to tell anybody just yet. We got to wait till it gets on the schedule. But the list gets bigger and better seemingly on a regular basis, doesn't it?
It does, and it keeps growing. I'll tell you, I've had Marnie Schneider on, and Marnie Spencer, and she was a granddaughter of Leonard Tost, who's owner of the Eagles for a long time, and she came on the show. She co-hosted a show with me, and her list is helping me grow. She knows a lot of people, and she's excited about joining us on Huddle Up with Gus. She's written some books. Her grandfather helped start Ronald McDonald House. She's very involved in charities. So having her on a guest and having her friends come on and join us in the huddle it's going to be really exciting.
And you also have like a 2-minute drill, don't you, in there?
Yeah, we try to make the end fun. Like we do an hour-long interview with our guests, and then the last 10 minutes we try to say, we call it the no huddle or 2-minute drill, whatever you want to call it, and where we try to ask some quick, questions to our guests, like what's your biggest pet peeve, who's your Mount Rushmore of baseball, whatever it is they're into. We try to hit them with some questions like that are different, make them think a little bit.
Okay, so I'm going to get to that in just a moment, but I have to ask you real quick. Let's go back to the first segment because I said I wanted to ask you something about the players. Excuse me. Hey, it's live, folks. Anything can happen. So, and it was more about, all right, the quarterback with the stats, and then you had the running backs with the stats. What about the receivers with yards after catch? You take a guy like Joe Montana who dink and dunked his way down the field, and you got Jerry Rice. He'll throw the ball 7 yards to Jerry Rice, and Jerry will go get 80 yards. Should that count in Jerry Rice's total, or should that be on Joe Montana's total, or should that just be Jerry Rice?
Well, that's an interesting question because, you throw a 3-yard pass or even a bubble screen and the guy breaks a tackle and he runs, 80 yards for a touchdown. I don't know. I think it's yards after the catch. That one is kind of goes back. Like you did your job of getting him the ball. Now he's going to do his job of breaking a tackle and doing the rest. But I think that's a hard one to really parse. But I think with technology today, anything's possible. Every player's wearing an RFID tag, and if they put an RFID tag in the ball, that will happen instantaneously, and you'll be able to know when he caught the ball, what he did, how fast he was running, all those types of things, which they're already kind of doing anyway.
See, now I think that's kind of a fair thing to do. This is just from a stat side, not because I want to beat the quarterbacks up, but a lot of people ask these questions like, well, hey, wait, let's ask somebody that's been in the league for 15 years, and that would be you. Right, you would know something about that. So, is it fair for you to pad your stats? Oh, I like Phillip Rivers. All right, Phillip, the king of interceptions. All right, in my opinion, I'm not talking Jameis Winston. I'm talking Phillip Rivers, maybe the king of trash talking. Okay,
right.
And so,
he is.
Okay, so maybe Phillip throws the ball, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 yards, whatever. And his Keenan Allen go get 60, 70 yards. Should that count to his total? Me personally, I don't think so because that was Keenan Allen and it wasn't Phillip Rivers. Yes, he got him the job. He did his job. He got the ball to him, but that's it.
Well, but sometimes you can't throw everyone deep either, right? You got to take what the defense gives you. I think Phillip does a good job of that. And, if you're getting the ball to him and he's able, sometimes all the difference is if I throw the ball on the right side, it's incomplete. If I throw it on the left side, it's complete and he can spin out of it and go make a play. So I don't know. I think that's a really hard one, Sal. I think our job is to work within the system, within the scheme of the plays that are called and get the ball to the open man. If that open man's only 3 yards, and he breaks a tackle and gets 70, I think that helps the quarterback. But
it does.
I know what you're saying. It almost goes back to if the ball goes off the receiver's hands and gets picked off, right?
Right. I mean, if you're going to be fair, look, I don't care about how many yards a quarterback passes for unless I'm playing fantasy football. I only care about, did the team win? Did everybody do their job? And that's really the only thing that matters. Hey, listen, we're coming up on break. Take 20 seconds. Take us a break and say a nice plug for Huddle Up with Gus.
Yeah, hey, everyone. Join us on Huddle Up with Gus, where we talk to our guests about how sports shape their lives. And it's an excellent show. My co-host Dave and I, we love to talk to our guests. And one of our biggest things is about when you grew up, did you play wiffle ball or not play wiffle ball? And I think, Sal, most of our guests have played wiffle ball when they were young.
That's right. All right. Folks, we're going to be back here with Gus Rott and maybe a special guest in just a minute. Don't go anywhere.
Do you have any questions about legal issues? Have you ever been stopped by a police officer and issued a ticket that you're scared to deal with? Have you ever been in trouble with the law and don't know what to do? Do you have a will or power of attorney question? Is your home being foreclosed upon and you don't know where to turn? Maybe you were given a contract that you don't understand. For freedom and a worry-free solution, call for Legal Shield today at 213-245-1305. It's that simple. You will have access to high-quality law firms that will fight for you for less than $1 a day. Peace of mind is just a call away. That's for Legal Shield. Call 213-245-1305 or visit us at nocourt.us. It's justice for all and not justice for some. Are you a small business owner or pursuing the dream of starting your own company? Do you know where to start or how to grow that existing business? The American Business Trust Company has the answers you need. The American Business Trust Company can help you with startup capital, business strategy, sales and marketing, and establishing your company with a physical location or on the internet. You decide. You bring the idea, the American Business Trust Company can help with the rest. For a free evaluation, you may visit them online at abtrustco.com. That's abtrustco.com, or call them at 657-600-1876. That's the American Business Trust Company, 657-600-1876. Call them today. They can help your business right away. This is Sal Tuzolino, host and remaster of The Sports Circus. Why listen to the same old dog and pony show that you've heard all day long? The Sports Circus covers everything that other shows don't or are too scared to cover. There's no primetime show like it out here that'll punch you in the mouth and you'll beg for more. You can call in and participate with our chaos if you dare. Join me and celebrity guests for Havoc and Mayhem weekdays at 5 p.m. Pacific here on AMP TV, or stream the show live at thesportscircus.com. Remember, folks, it's a circus and we prove it every day.
In times of economic uncertainty and chaos, your money means nothing. You may not even be able to get it from your bank or ATM. And the money you do have in the stock market will go down and down. What you can bank on is gold and silver. Gold and silver have been a reliable and trusted form of currency for thousands of years. Gold and silver have never been worth zero, and typically gold holds its value during economic turmoil. Call the Gold Hotline now and learn how to protect your money and your assets with gold and silver. And learn how to set up a new IRA or roll over your current one into a gold-backed IRA. Protect your money from the next market crash with gold and silver. Call now for your free gold guide.
800-755-4281. 800-755-4281. 800-755-4281. That's 800-755-4281.
Welcome back to the Sports Circus. I'm your ringmaster, Sal, live from the AMP.TV mobile studios here in downtown San Diego at Seaport Village. Thanks for joining us today on AAMP.TV. An important message quickly for consumers, business owners, and managers. For information on the best high-speed internet, satellite TV, cell phone service, identity protection, home and business security and automation, credit card processing, plus savings on electricity and gas bills, contact 702-799-9935. That's 702-799-9935. For information on smart savings for homes and businesses, 702-799-9935, or learn more at safelyspend.com. That's safelyspend.com, or email them at info@safelyspend.com. All right, and a big welcome to everybody listening in on Magic 97.9 FM up in Las Vegas. Big hello to our friends over in Honolulu on CBS Sports 1500 KHKA, all the way to our friends down in the greater Corpus Christi and Houston market on KSIX CBS Sports, as well as our friends over in Boston, WBNW. And we're everywhere, Gus. It is what it is. And we're here with 15-year NFL veteran quarterback and Pro Bowler, Gus Frerotte. A big round of applause for Gus joining us today. With a full head of hair. And he's showing it off with, well, he was showing it off with one of his hats. Look, you can see it now. Look, so he's wearing half a hat so he can show off all his hair. And I'll take mine off.
There you go.
See, now I have mine off right now, and you can see that, look, I don't have as much as Gus does, but I do have some. For all those people that say, well, hey, you never show your hair on television. Well, guess what? For everybody watching, you can see that I do have some hair, and I did shave today, so I'm nice and clean cut, just like you, young man.
Yes, I did shave. I shaved yesterday, so I wanted to make sure I was clean cut. I was playing golf yesterday with my son, so we cut the grass. We went to the grocery store, and I said, all right, let's go golfing and do something fun.
Nice. Yeah, I haven't played golf in 10 years, but I did go to the driving range last year. I did go last summer, and I had the best thing happen to me. I mean, look, I can knock the cover off the ball. It is what it is, and I can hit it relatively straight. But there's the first pin is probably about, 75 out, something like that. And I said, all right, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab the sand wedge because I overswing with everything anyway. So I grabbed the sand wedge and I one-hopped it. It hit and it sunk. Like, that's it. I dropped the club. I'm like, I'm done. That's it. That's the end of it, because I can't do anything better here today with the little bucket of golf balls that I had.
No, that's awesome. And I assume that when you played baseball, you were the guy that was trying to hit a home run every time you swung.
Oh, no. I hit one home run in my life.
But you tried.
No, actually, I didn't know. I was a contact hitter.
Yeah, that's what I was when I played.
Yeah, that's it. All I wanted to do was hit the ball square, nice level swing. That's what we were taught when we were kids, right? We're not taught the uppercut nonsense.
Right. Well, just think about when we were kids. I had probably two people, my dad and my coach, teaching me about baseball. There was no videos to watch, right? You watched the Pirate games or you listened to them. We barely watched them. We listened to my dad had a transistor radio where he'd sleep on the back porch, and that's how he listened to all the games. And he would fall asleep listening to the Pirate games all the time. But if you think about it, you didn't really have these videos to watch. You didn't have social media where you can go find baseball players. I mean, I've watched Bill Madlock teach how to hit on social media just because, I was always a Bill Madlock fan. But it's crazy how times have changed, and you can learn so much, and sometimes good, sometimes bad. Same way with playing quarterback.
Yeah, and it's funny you mentioned Bill Madlock. Look, I grew up in Chicago, and when I was a little kid, I rooted for both the White Sox and the Cubs. But the Cubs, they have this terrible habit of trading away every good player. It's just what they've done. That's what they've done historically. And I mean, even when we were kids, when I was a kid, because I'm a little bit older than you, I mean, I go back to Lou Brock being traded away to, of all teams, the Cardinals. Right. I mean, there's nothing worse than that, right? And then you take guys like Bill Madlock, you ship him off to Pittsburgh, right? Batting champion. Then you ship off Rick Monday to the Dodgers, and on we go. And then as I'm a kid and I'm a pitcher, what am I thinking about? There's this guy by the name of Bruce Sutter, who is the best pitcher of all time in my mind, because he had that splitty that nobody could hit. He brought that split-fingered fastball into the game. And guess what? Where did he go? He went to the Cardinals. Unbelievable. Right. And so for me, all I did is I said, fine, the day that Bruce Sutter was wearing a Cardinals hat was the day that I bought my first Cardinals hat. And never again, ever will I root for the Cubs, ever. There's 162 played a year. I'm going to root against them 162. That's how I do it.
Wow. Man, they really hurt you, Sal. But, I feel the same way about the Pirates. We had Garrett Cole. He was doing pretty well. Now he goes on and he goes to Houston. Now he's with the Yankees. It's like we had, McCutchen. We've had some great players come through Pittsburgh. And if they're starting to get up there and they're going to make too much money, we can't pay them.
Remember a while back, there was a center fielder that played for the Pirates. His name was Ben Shelton. Remember that name?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ben went to my high school, and it was kind of a cool thing. You always kind of keep track of, the guys that, even though he was many years behind me, but Ben had some success with the Pirates a little bit. At least he made it to the show. Right. And it's always nice to see the local guys where you're from do something bigger. Think about yourself in that situation, whether it's football, baseball, basketball, hockey, whatever.
Yeah, trying to make it to the show in any sport is really difficult. I think that even in baseball, you may be pretty good, and then you go to the next level, and all of a sudden the next level is way down in the minor leagues, and you got to work your way up to try and get to the majors. Those guys that make that jump to the major leagues right away. I even think in basketball, when you see guys like Kobe and LeBron who go right from high school to playing, against adult men and are pretty good. It's amazing. And, there's this whole thing that we have in football that we just don't think that is possible, that you can go right from high school to play in the NFL just because of the size and speed and the strength it takes to play in that game. I don't know. What do you think about that, Sal?
Look, the idea that on the football side of things, hey, if you think you're good enough to play at the pro level at 18 years of age, you're probably going to get hurt. That's my best guess. Even if you're a burner on the outside and you're the fastest guy on the field, guess what? There are guys that are going to take your number next time you pass them up, and they're going to drill you, and you're going to like every bit of it. And they're going to say, how'd that feel, kid? You okay? Here, let me help you up. Because guess what? You're going to get hit again and again. I had this conversation with Tyrone Poole yesterday, and it was his first game. He was telling me about a story. His first game, he was catching some punts and warm-ups, right? And it was against the Cowboys. And so the Cowboys take the field. Some of the guys take the field, and the DBs are out there ahead of time. The punt returners are out there too, right? And so this guy come up to him. He gives him a pat on the backside, and he goes, Hey, kid, good luck out there today. Just make sure you watch what's going on. And that was Deion Sanders.
Right.
Right, so Deion come up to him. Of course, I didn't even say it right, but Deion's like, watch out, man. They're coming for you today. It's like a DB to DB thing, right? Do you ever have that conversations with other quarterbacks when you're playing? You kind of wish them well, but you want them to throw 12 interceptions in the game?
The only time you really talk to another quarterback before a game is if you actually know them. You may have seen them, but you don't really talk to them. If I've had friends that I got to know through the years, I would go up to them and talk to them. But a lot of times I haven't seen a lot of quarterbacks go before a game. Now, after a game, you come in and you'll jibber jabber a little bit. But before a game, you're kind of in your own mindset, and as a quarterback that I got to go and get ready for this game. And sometimes you just go. Most of the time, it's just a quick hello, how you doing, how's the family? That's about it.
What about the talk afterwards with maybe the D-line or the linebackers that may put a hat into you?
After the game's over, I always had the mentality was, unless that guy was really, really trying to hurt me, and that's only happened to me one time, I felt like, but unless somebody was really trying to hurt me, when the game's over, it's over. And, you go say hi, you shake hands, and sometimes there's, sometimes it's heated. Sometimes there's a lot of emotions in a game, and you don't want to talk to somebody. But most of the time it's, hey, good game, good job, nice sack. I saw that move. That was pretty sweet. Things like that. And then that just builds a relationship that you have with people out there. And I think, when you were bringing up, what's his name from the Chargers, the quarterback, they talks a lot of trash.
Rivers.
Yeah, and I don't know how many defensive linemen or linebackers want to talk to him after a game like that. I wasn't like that. I wasn't a trash talker out there.
Yeah, and who we had on, probably about a month or so ago, I'm going to kind of close the segment out with this. We had on the Lumberjack. So we brought Wesley Woodyard on. And right. Wesley was the one guy that said, you know what? Man, that Phillip Rivers, all he did was he ran his mouth. He's like, Woodyard, I'm going to get you because I got Gates on you, and I know I can throw it to him all day. You can't cover him. And he's just doing this. But I love the fact that Wesley was saying straight up, that's the one dude that really runs his mouth during the game. I mean, for me, it just confirmed what I always thought about him. Maybe how he yells at his army of kids is maybe how he yells at his players. I don't really know. Anyway, folks, right. Back here with Gus Frerotte, 15 years in the NFL. That's the Pro Bowler. Oh, and guess what? We're going to go ahead and let Gus plug Huddle Up with Gus. That's a pretty cool podcast that he's running too.
Yeah, you can join us and follow us on radio.com or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast, Huddle Up with Gus. You can also find us on our website, huddleupwithgus.com. It's pretty simple, pretty easy. We have a great show that really talks to people about how sports have shaped their life. So a lot of people, doctors, sportscasters, anybody the walk of life, we all have sports and it's all ingrained in us, and we love to share those stories with you. So join us on Huddle Up with Gus, wherever you listen to your favorite podcast.
All right, big round of applause for Huddle Up with Gus. All right, maybe you'll tip your hat. Oh, but then again, he's got half a hat on.
Well,
look at all that hair.
There.
Get out of here with that. Again, I've never grown that much hair in my life. All right, folks, we're going to be back with Gus Frerotte. Don't go anywhere. Last more to come.
Do you have any questions about legal issues? Have you ever been stopped by a police officer and issued a ticket that you're scared to deal with? Have you ever been in trouble with the law and don't know what to do? Do you have a will or power of attorney question? Is your home being foreclosed upon and you don't know where to turn? Maybe you were given a contract that you don't understand. For freedom and a worry-free solution, call for Legal Shield today at 213-245-1305. It's that simple. You will have access to high-quality law firms that will fight for you for less than $1 a day. Peace of mind is just a call away. That's for Legal Shield. Call 213-245-1305 or visit us at nocourt.us. It's justice for all and not justice for some. Are you a small business owner or pursuing the dream of starting your own company? Do you know where to start or how to grow that existing business? The American Business Trust Company has the answers you need. The American Business Trust Company can help you with startup capital, business strategy, sales and marketing, and establishing your company with a physical location or on the internet. You decide. You bring the idea, the American Business Trust Company can help with the rest. For a free evaluation, you may visit them online at abtrustco.com. That's ABTRUSTCO.com, or call them at 657-600-1876. That's the American Business Trust Company, 657-600-1876. Call them today. They can help your business right away.
This is Sal Tuzolino, host and remaster of The Sports Circus. Why listen to the same old dog and pony show that you've heard all day long? The Sports Circus covers everything that other shows don't or are too scared to cover. There's no primetime show like it out here that'll punch you in the mouth and you'll beg for more. You can call in and participate with our chaos if you dare. Join me and celebrity guests for Havoc and Mayhem weekdays at 5 p.m. Pacific here on AMP TV, or stream the show live at thesportscircus.com. Remember, folks, it's a circus, so we prove it every day.
So, you want to be in show business. Do people tell you that you're really funny, you have a great personality, and you should have your own talk show? Many of us have been told that, but we don't know how to get started. It's easier than you think. Let the pros at Cali Vegas give you a free talent evaluation. Call 949-445-1119 and learn how quickly you can create, produce, and host your very own talk show. Imagine not having to sit in traffic every day, commuting back and forth to the same old boring job. Get started in television or radio today with your free talent evaluation from Cali Vegas. Call 949-445-1119 or visit them online at calivegas.com. Make your dream come true today and create your new career and learn how to become a television or radio star with the help of Cali Vegas. 949-445-1119. Call now.
Welcome back to the Sports Circus. I'm your ringmaster, Sal, live from the AMP.TV mobile studios here in downtown San Diego at Seaport Village. That's AAMP.TV. Folks, make sure you check out thesportscircus.com for our upcoming guests, our prior guests, our podcast, also our partners. One of those partners is the College of Southern Nevada Athletics. Check them out at csncoyotes.com for all of their upcoming events and their games. csncoyotes.com. Best school in Southern Nevada. College in Southern Nevada. 40,000 strong. Yes. Yes, I take classes there too. You know why? Because I can. All right, back here with 15-year NFL veteran quarterback and Pro Bowler, Gus Frerotte. And Gus and I were having kind of a fun conversation about quarterbacks, talk a little bit about baseball. We haven't really talked much about boxing and MMA, but we did talk a little golf. This guy's ready to go out and play around right now. How often do you get out and play?
Not as much as I want. This year, I've only played twice so far, and which is kind of a shame. But usually, I don't know. I try to play once a week, which is enough for me.
So, are you a scratch golfer?
No. I'm about a 8 or 9 handicap.
So you're shooting 80-ish, right?
Yeah, it's usually right there. I shot like an 86 yesterday, so it wasn't great. But I was having a lot of fun with my kids. It just, you got to get in the groove. It's all putting. When I keep track of my putts and they're falling, my score goes way down. It's all about the short game.
Don't you ever go play miniature golf and try to hit the clown's nose and kind of shorten up that putting game and really shore it up?
There's no good miniature golf in Pittsburgh. Because miniature, it would only be open like 6 months out of the year. So nobody wants to build a good miniature golf here in Pittsburgh.
What about a retractable dome for miniature golf? I mean, that would be kind of cool, wouldn't it?
Kind of, but it's like building an indoor facility, right? You got to keep it full all the time to pay the rent. So it's pretty interesting that you mentioned that. Our where I go in golf, they have a nice putting green. So I do try to go over there. Now it's starting to get really nice out in Pittsburgh, and try to get over there as much as I can to work on my putting stroke.
Okay, so being in Pittsburgh, my best guess is obviously, look, everything is yellow and black there, right? And that's cool. I love the fact that everything is yellow and black because at least the city has unified colors for their sports teams.
It's the only one in the country.
Well, I think it's fantastic. I really think it's a good idea. So every city should have their own colors, right?
Right. Well, okay. I definitely agree. I mean, because I think it's too is that if you live in a city, you're not just a sports fan of one team, right? You're usually a sports fan of all the teams in that city. And, somebody can go to a Penguins game and wear a Steelers jersey and you just fit right in. You're not, and it's kind of, I think that the city has done and the ownership of the teams have done such a great job of kind of keeping that going. Even when we had women's football here, and I think we still do, they're black and gold as well. So everything here is black and gold.
So what about Pittsburgh maybe with a basketball franchise? What would they name a Pittsburgh basketball franchise if they had one in the NBA today?
Well, back in the day, it was the Pittsburgh Fish, wasn't it?
Yeah, but if they had one today, what would it be called today?
Oh, I don't know, man. There's you gotta think of what are the still names here, I don't know. Penguins is hockey, it makes sense. It's the ice, it's cold. You got the Steelers, which goes way back. It's a steel town. Right. You got the Pirates. I don't even know how the story of the Pirates came to be. Why is there a Pittsburgh Pirate? It's like when I went to school at Tulsa, we were the Golden Hurricanes. And everybody said, why are you the Golden Hurricanes in Tulsa, Oklahoma? It shouldn't it be the Golden Tornadoes? And I'm like, I don't know. I guess it should be, but we're the Golden Hurricanes. So if we had a basketball franchise, that's a great question. The I don't know. What would you call them? What's your guess? I mean,
I don't know. I'm thinking while you're talking. I'm hoping that you're going to continue so I can think of a name here.
I think that's a great question for your audience. As to if Pittsburgh had a NBA franchise, what would their nickname be? It would be. I think it would be a welcome thing. I think our town would definitely love to see a basketball franchise here. I think it would go over really well. I think. We kind of miss that here. I think we could definitely support for sports here in Pittsburgh.
Well, it would be a natural nearby rival with Cleveland. That's for darn sure. Is that who do you root for in basketball? Are you still going all the way to Philadelphia to the other side and saying I'm going to go to that city, even though they're our rival in football and in hockey, etc., and in baseball? Are we going to go? Do we dare root for the Sixers? Is that how that works?
Well, it's kind of funny, Sal, that you bring that up because thinking about it, I don't have a team. I have players that I like to watch. There's games when they go and play, and I really like to watch certain teams and certain players that are on those teams play. Wherever, who's the guy that just won it with Toronto a few years ago? They call him the Terminator.
Kawhi Leonard?
Yeah, Kawhi Leonard. Wherever he plays, I love watching him play because he's just a worker. He's all about the team. He's all about doing the best he can and winning games, So there's just certain people for me in basketball that when it gets to it, I'm not a big, during the season because I feel like sometimes they play so many games, it's not full effort. I'm all about the playoffs and watching them when they get to the playoffs.
Right. I mean, we know that they're going to have the colors of black and gold, but we just don't know what to call them.
Right.
What can we call the Pittsburgh basketball franchise, the NBA franchise in Pittsburgh? We got to come up with something here. Come on. You're on the clock. I'm going to start humming the theme of Jeopardy. What do you got? In 30 seconds, what do you got?
I don't know, man. I'm trying to think of what it would be. The Pittsburgh, I don't know what it is, Sal. I mean, you're putting me on the spot here. We got a steel town. We got a medical community that's great. We got all the trades here. The Pittsburgh Unions? I don't know. I mean, what are we doing? The Pittsburgh Rivers. We got 3 rivers here that connect. So I don't know.
You guys are talking about colors in a city. Why not the Pittsburgh black and gold?
Oh, that would be good.
Oh no.
Look, if the Browns can get away with it, you can get the black and gold in there.
See, now that's coming from a guy from Ohio, by the way.
Yeah, well, that's why they let the Browns get away with that. They had to give them something.
Yeah, right. Well, they couldn't come up with something. Let's just use a color. That's all. Right. And then let's make matters worse and drag them down to Cincinnati.
Maybe it's the Pittsburgh Rivers. I don't know. I mean, to me, that's what Pittsburgh's all about. We got 3 rivers, the point. We got a lot of things going on here. But maybe we could call them the Pittsburgh Incline. We have an incline here. So I don't know. I mean, it's a good question. I think that's one that Pittsburgh has debated for a long time.
What about something that has to do with steel? I mean, you make everything out of steel. You make buildings, bridges, whatever. And what about all those pieces? Look, we know Detroit with all the car manufacturing and stuff, but what about some parts, some power parts that are made with steel from Pittsburgh? There's got to be something that makes sense.
Oh, I mean, yeah. I mean, there's got to be something. We have aluminum headquarters here. Allegheny Ludlam is one of the biggest aluminum manufacturers.
Right.
We have great energy. You know, if you think about natural gas and everything that we're producing here, maybe it's something that's going off of that. Is what is Pittsburgh known for?
I don't know. I mean, that's why I'm trying to figure something out. So I'm thinking maybe something to the line of something big, strong, like a big turbine, some kind of a big engine that moves something. I don't know, the support beams, like, what am I thinking about? Oh, that hold the engine block in place. What are those things called? The big bolts that hold them on place.
Oh, yeah. What are you thinking of?
I don't know, just something that's big and strong that kind of matches the city. The Penguin kind of works for sure, but I'm thinking about the Steelers and you got a pirate, you've got and you've got something strong. So maybe something that, I don't know, that holds something together. But it's got to be a masculine, strong, punch in the face name.
I think we need to ask Will Ferrell, because he seems like the guy that would come up with the perfect answer for us. Have you seen his basketball movie? I think he would come up with a perfect answer for us. I mean, we can't call him the Pittsburgh Fish. I'm just trying to think of what we would call him. What goes with Pittsburgh? I mean, we already got steel mills. We make, I don't know. I know that's a hard one.
Sonar, what do you got?
Hey, you already shot down my idea. I'm waiting for you guys to come up with something.
I already shot his horse.
Yeah, you already shot down my idea. I'm waiting for you guys to come up with something now.
We'll just call him the Pittsburgh Diesel. There you go.
I got somebody in the chat saying the Pittsburgh CLR.
The CLR?
Yeah. Calcium, lime, and rust, that's CLR. It cleans it right up.
Yeah, that fits. That was back in the day. We'd have to get some older players if we're going to call us the Rust team. Maybe we call them the Rust Belt.
Yeah, nowadays you have like Rust-Oleum, and that fixes that.
That's right. That's right.
So much for that. And those people that Z-Bart their cars or whatever, they put that undercoating on. Well, problem solved. We don't have that issue.
Vinyl liner it.
Yeah. I'll look at all these companies, they should pay us for saying their name, don't you think?
Yeah.
It would be nice.
Definitely. You know what? What if we called them the Pittsburgh Energy? That's what Pittsburgh's really about, changing the way we look at energy.
Pittsburgh Energy?
Well, we got technology here. I don't know, Sal. You're putting me on the spot.
You see?
You're damn right I am.
See, dude couldn't even come up with the name of an engine block. And we've got to come up with all of this right now. You see how it is, Gus?
Well, it's kind of like the motor mount, right? But see, the problem is there's too much of that tie to Detroit. So I'm trying to differentiate Detroit.
What do you want to call them? The Pittsburgh Bolts, and have a picture of like a big bolt on their jersey?
I don't know, something made of steel. Maybe it would be.
Well, what about like the Journeyman or something? The Pittsburgh Journeyman.
Like
take it back to the unions. Take it back to the trade school. The Pittsburgh Journeyman.
The Journeyman. That's what I am.
Call them the Pittsburgh Truckers.
Yeah, they don't wear trucker hats.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's something. The Pittsburgh Hard Hats. I don't know. The Pittsburgh Wrecking Balls. I don't know, something like that. Something that means business. Something that it could destroy you, but it also could build you. What do you think about that?
The coal miners.
Yeah, the miners.
Pittsburgh miners.
The Pittsburgh miners, because the coal mines are going away around here, so that'd be a great legacy for them.
Okay, all right, we'll give a round of applause for that. All right, the Pittsburgh Miners. But then again, what if it's a baseball team? Then how about the Pittsburgh Majors? You know what I mean?
Yeah, minor league team here.
Right. Well, that actually be a great name, the Pittsburgh Miners, if they actually had that. So, yeah,
Right.
you know what I'm trying. All I'm doing is I'm just stretching the segment. That's really all I'm doing here.
I hear you. You know, they do. I mean, we have a great beer called Iron City Beer. You know, think about that. That's just, you know, when you think about iron and Rust Belt and all
That's it. I got it. It's the Pittsburgh Ironheads. What do you think of that? the Pittsburgh Iron Craniums. I don't know. All I know is, listen, Gus, take 20 seconds real quick. Plug Huddle Up with Gus. 10 seconds. Huddle
Hey,
Up with
everyone.
Gus. Go ahead.
Hey, everyone. Gus Trott here. Please listen to our show, Huddle Up with Gus. You can find us anywhere you listen to your favorite podcast. We talk to everyone about how sports shape their life. So thanks, Sal, for having me on a sports.
KCAA Loma Linda, 1050 AM, 106.5.